You didn't find this by accident. This message must be meant for you. A man with guns and knives rushed toward a room full of powerful people. And for a few seconds, nobody knew how bad this could get. That's the part people aren't sitting with, how close this actually was. Some say, this is just one unstable person. Others say, no, this is what happens when anger keeps building. But here's the part nobody agrees on. How does someone get to that point? Not in the moment, but before the moment, because nothing like this starts all at once. It builds quietly, and if it built once, it can build again. So what does God say? When anger grows unchecked and almost turns into tragedy, because what the Torah, the Gospel, and the Quran say about this might not just explain him, it might expose something inside all of us. Here's what happened. At the White House Correspondents' Dinner, one of the most high-profile events in the country, security was tight, the room was full of journalists, officials, and national leaders. Then suddenly, a man approached, armed with guns and knives, moving toward the event. Video shows him getting closer than people are comfortable with, close enough to make people ask, what if? Nothing fully happened, but it almost did. Sometimes, the almost is what scares people the most, because now the question isn't just about him, it's about how close we are to moments like this happening for real. People are angry right now, politically, socially, personally, but when does that anger cross a line? When does frustration turn into something dangerous? And this is where faith steps in. Here's what's interesting. The Torah doesn't ignore anger, it warns about it. It says, you shall not hate your brother in your heart, Leviticus 19:17. Notice that it starts inside, not actions, not violence, the heart. Then this, you shall not murder, Exodus 20:13. Simple, clear, but here's what people are missing. Judaism doesn't just forbid violence, it warns about what leads to it. Unchecked anger, silent hatred, the things people carry without dealing with. So when someone acts like this, the question isn't just what did he do? It's what was building long before this moment. Jesus takes it even further. He says, but I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment. Matthew 5:22. Not just violence. Anger itself, why? Because that's where it begins. Then this, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Matthew 5:9. Not peace lovers, peacemakers, active, intentional. But here's what most people are missing. Christianity doesn't just ask you to avoid harm, it asks you to actively stop it before it starts. Now listen to this. The Quran speaks directly about controlling anger. It says, those who restrain anger and pardon people, Allah loves the doers of good. That's powerful. Not people who never feel anger, but people who control it. Then this, and do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Think about that. Even if you feel justified, you're still responsible for your actions. But here's what stands out. Islam doesn't deny anger, it puts responsibility on what you do with it. So what do all three say together? Anger isn't the problem, what you do with it is. Violence doesn't start in the moment, it starts long before. Responsibility doesn't belong to other people, it belongs to you. But here's what a lot of people don't understand. We live in a world that feeds anger. Constantly, news, social media, opinions, outrage, and slowly, it builds quietly until one day, it shows up in a moment like this. This means the line between normal anger and dangerous action isn't as far as we think. And here's the hard truth. It's easy to point at someone like this and say, that's not me. But these teachings don't let you do that. They bring it back to you. So now this turns to you, not the headlines, not the man, you, because you feel anger too. Everyone does. The question is, what do you do with it? This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because faith doesn't just care about what you avoid, it cares about what you become. So ask yourself honestly, what are you feeding inside your mind? What are you holding on to? What are you letting grow? Because here's the truth. Moments like this don't start in public. They start in private, in thoughts, in feelings, in things left unchecked. So what would you do if you felt pushed far enough? Would you stop yourself? Would you step back? Would you choose something different? Because in the end, this isn't just about one man getting too close to something dangerous. It's about how close any person can get when anger isn't controlled. So don't just see the situation. Don't just judge the outcome. Look inward, because the real question isn't how did he get there? It's how do any of us make sure we never do? If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and head over to our YouTube page for more content like this.